Welcome to lesson 2 and 3 of our CER unit. Mastering claims. Do you remember for what CER is an acronym or abbreviation? And what is a claim? Remember that in this paragraph, strong reading skills are essential for students, according to DoSomething.org, of the juvenile-based trial in the juvenile. So how do we quote evidence directly? Nearly 85% are illiterate. Word can be really useful in making an argument between clear argument and crime. It shows that you're not just making things up, can not only change that emphasis to your point, but his or her life as well. Remember, so how do we quote evidence directly? The first sentence, the bolded on the left, is we have Fahrenheit 451. It is logical, introduces the importance of fire in the very first line. It informs the reader about the focus. It was a pleasure to burn. Bradbury 1. A strong claim has a clear position in the middle of a paragraph, sets the stage, introduces evidence to follow, and give it some context, and is arguable. What does the reader need to know in order to understand the point of this quote? When writing a claim, ask yourself, make sure that your direct quote is accurate. Am I misquoting a logical unreliable and calls the rest of your argument appropriate for the audience who will read it? And don't forget your quotation marks. This shows the reader that you are using someone else's words. Start with a yes or no. You're now plagiarizing someone else's words. Don't express a complete thought. Also remember your citation. Firm stance. The format of the citation will vary depending on your source material and the style of writing you're using. It's important. MLA, a balanced diet could be Chicago for health, etc. Research shows diet is important. So for a review, very boring. What kind of evidence might be to argue about for each of these claims? Strong claims more serves the best cheeseburger in town. Take a firm stance. Stephen King has achieved so much success because of his ability to capture raw, maintaining a balanced diet is the most important factor. Without the water cycle, Earth would be doomed. As soon as we add the most important factor, we have something that is arguable and defensible. So, on your worksheet, craft a claim for each of the following questions. What is one extremely overrated movie? Which fast food chain has the best French fries? And which course offered by Foothill is essential to future success? Feel free to pause the video if you need more time to do this. The second part of today, we're going to be talking about providing evidence. Again, do you remember for what CER is an acronym or abbreviation? What is a claim? And what does evidence mean? Same paragraph we've been looking at. Again, that second sentence is the evidence. It consists of information that supports the claim. Effective evidence consists of facts, supports or proves the claim, and is appropriate to the argument and audience. When providing evidence, ask yourself, does this evidence actually support my claim? Is this evidence rooted in fact, not opinion-based? Is this type of evidence, quote, example, fact, etc., appropriate for the argument and audience? And am I citing this evidence correctly? Weak evidence is vague. This story talks about fear. It doesn't include a citation or say where the information is from. It says fear of the name only increases fear of the thing itself. Or it doesn't support the claim or goes off topic. Harry Potter is a series about love and friendship. Rowling writes fear of the name only increases fear of the thing itself. Doesn't do anything that it needs to do. Quoting direct evidence. So how do we quote evidence directly? Quoting evidence, word for word, can be really useful in making an argument. It gives your argument authority. It shows that you're not just making things up, and it can add emphasis to your point. So how do we quote evidence directly? On the left, we have Fahrenheit 451 introduces the importance of fire in the very first line that reads, "It was a pleasure to burn," Bradbury 1. Don't just insert a quote into the middle of a paragraph. Introduce it and give it some context. What does the reader need to know in order to understand the point of this quote? Make sure that your direct quote is accurate. Misquoting makes you look unreliable and calls the rest of your argument into question. And don't forget your quotation marks. This shows the reader that you are using someone else's words. If you forget these, you're now plagiarizing someone else's work. Also remember your citation. The format of the citation will vary depending on your source material and the style of writing you're using. MLA, APA, Chicago, etc. So for a review, what kind of evidence might be appropriate for each of these claims? Burgers and More serves the best cheeseburger in town. Stephen King has achieved so much success because of his ability to capture raw human fear on the page. Without the water cycle, Earth would be doomed.